So we were having a conversation earlier about Santa Claus and Christmas and the idea of the white Santa and the implications that that has on our children, right?
Definitely.
So, what do you think about Santa Claus in general? White Santa, black Santa, or whatever. What's your overall take? You think it's a good idea to teach the children that Santa brings their gifts or no?
Well, I think we can still use it if we, I think, Africanize or indigenize the Santa Claus because they take our
So, you think a
mythology.
black Santa is okay?
It it's all right. It's all right. I don't recommend it, but if you're gonna do it,
Mm-hmm.
you might as well do a black Santa or a Latin Santa or an Indian Santa
Or an Asian
or an
Santa.
Asian
A
Santa.
Santa that looks like your kids.
Exactly, because even though it is uh, a European mythology,
Mm-hmm.
they take our mythology and use it for their
This is
benefit.
my take. I'm not comfortable with the Santa Claus story at all. And maybe it stems from my own personal experience. I remember as a child when I really believed in Santa and it was great. And like an older kid at school burst that bubble for me. I was devastated. I felt like, oh my God, my parents lied to me. First of all, I was like, this can't be true. You're not right. Santa Claus is real. And then when I realized that it was true that there is no Santa Claus, it was really hard for me to accept the fact that my parents had lied to me so deeply. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I was upset with them for a while.
Yeah, and then we buy kids so much stuff now is unbelievable, and I think that's because of the hype of television and these movies and these cartoons. We have this big Christmas tree with 30, 40, 50 gifts under
Mm-hmm.
the tree, and now kids just automatically, they have high expectations.
They have huge
And
expectations.
now parents now have to somehow live up to the hype because they watch the movies with the kids also, and they get caught up in this mentality of consumerism, and then they go to Black Friday and fighting over toys and gifts just to save $5 to $10.
So, but how does the whole idea of Santa fit into that? Because, right, like I get what you're saying, and I agree. The
Hmm.
consumerism is ridiculous. The marketing is great because everybody's going out to buy and to fulfill their kids' needs to overconsume. But I don't think the idea of telling your children that their gifts, their needs are being fulfilled by this mysterious person is healthy. And for black and brown children, I really think that it's dangerous to tell them that there's this mysterious white man who comes and gives them gifts if they've been good or doesn't give them gifts if they've been naughty. Because in some way, the kids are going to internalize that and it's going to seep into their adulthood and their consciousness, like you said.
It's going to, because the whole point of mythology is to explain the significance of culture to a child.
Right? Is to make things easily understandable for them.
Exactly. And so as a child, this image, and because of white supremacy, the power of the white image of the white Santa gets seeped into their heads, ingrained to their heads,
It's the
and
same as white Jesus.
it's the same as white Jesus. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the story all over again. Um, because that's a story to supposedly explaining to the children in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, then in that case, right, it seems obvious that the ideal is for our children. It's indoctrination at a very young age.
yeah,
So it's to get children, black children, brown children, yellow children, children of all races to worship this idea of this almighty white father figure who supplies your needs for you.
yeah, it's a foundation and introduction into Christianity almost.
It is. It is.
And the point was, when we brought our daughter to the mall, probably like the beginning of December.
No, it was in November. It was before Thanksgiving.
Brought it there, and they had the whole mall was decorated with Christmas
Which
trees.
I think is nice. The trees and the lights are nice.
I don't mind the decorations, but we live in a black community. We go to the mall, and the majority of the people in the mall are black.
I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right.
I would say about 90%.
Well, they're changing that, so it's getting whiter. But
they're upgrading.
But right now,
okay, I would say about at least no less than 80% black.
I agree. Yeah.
and they have this white Santa in the mall.
And black parents are taking their black children, brown parents, other parents are taking their very young children to meet this stranger, and they're allowing the children to be intimate with this person by sitting on his lap. And the kids are freaking out. So the kids already know that something is wrong with it. The kids are not comfortable with it. The young kids are screaming, crying, fighting, and the parents are forcing them to sit on the lap of this strange man. This strange man who does not resemble mommy or daddy. I think that is horrendous, because how can we teach our kids not to speak to strangers? Strangers are danger and that sort of thing. But then we take them to the mall to this strange man, again, who looks like no one in the family, and we put them on this man's lap. You know I have a problem with that. You know I'm not okay with the kids sitting on anybody's laps or any of those things. I'm just not comfortable with that.
It's definitely forced indoctrination. And, and when the kids get a little older, oh, Santa's, he's fun, he's happy. But they don't even know they were forced into the situation.
Exactly.
They didn't organically,
just love
Santa. They weren't attracted to him just cause. They were forced to love him and his image and what he represents.
I agree. And I think it's dangerous. Like I said, the implications are that there is this mysterious person who supplies my needs for me. The other connection is that when I am a good person, when I do good things, I should reward myself with material objects. So now our happiness is related to gifts and things. And then we wonder why we're depressed when we're adults, because we don't have the things that we want.
A lot of people get depressed during the holidays.
Yeah, exactly. Because, and I get sometimes,
it starts from a child.
It does start from a child.
And because when you went to school and everybody's comparing what they got, Billy Badass got all the toys.
He got the Jordans and the iPad and
and
his parents live in 6F.
Exactly. And good boy Tyrone. He's been trying to be good all year, so Santa brings him gifts.
But mom and dad might be struggling a little, or just aren't feeding into the marketing and the consumerism, because it is ridiculous. I think the idea that people go shopping on Black Friday is absolutely absurd. And the way that people act towards one another is just, I just can't stomach it. I can't stomach it at all.
I can't stomach to see the black community struggle all year round, and then during the holidays go further into debt and further struggle to get their kids toys
that they don't need. And not just toys, but clothing and things that are going to give them the appearance of wealth, right? Or the appearance of this elitism that they really aren't a part of. And then in January, parents are crying because they can't pay the bills. And they have accumulated so much debt, and not even on anything of actual value. And then next year it starts all over again. I think it's ridiculous.
Even not just in the mall do they have this big, tall
white Santa,
but also in everybody's yard. I just drove to the supermarket.
Yeah.
In a community that's majority black, Caribbean, and even in our own our old neighborhood, on the lawn they put up a big giant white Santa holding his arms out like he's on a cross. Which already has a subliminal message to it.
Yeah.
Altogether.
And I don't think people realize the implications of these things. I don't think that they do it on purpose, but I think that that's the problem. We're not aware of ourselves, and we're not conscious of our actions. And I get that everybody loves Christmas, because this is like the best time of the year, especially if you're a kid, and that's why it's more dangerous. You get gifts, you get the longest break from school, family comes around, the areas are usually lit up and decorated.
And so we get all this emotion, and then now we associate it with an image.
I don't know. We're not trying to ruin anybody's holiday, right? Because it's great to get together with the family and do all that stuff. But I think it's important to just think about some of our habits.
Because there's nothing wrong with Christmas. It's a universal holiday.
Yeah.
People celebrate it all over the world, but we need to start celebrating it in our way, because
in a way that uplifts our image.
Exactly, because if a holiday or a celebration no longer benefits the people, we just need to throw it away.
Yeah, and not just a holiday, but a tradition at all. If the traditions, if the habits don't uplift the community, don't help us in some way get to a next level, then it's not beneficial to us, and we do need to just get rid of it. We're not saying get rid of Christmas because people are gonna go crazy.
It definitely needs to be revamped.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And so that's what we're doing in our family, and I think we should encourage other families to do the same.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about how we celebrate Christmas and what we do around this time and don't do. All right. Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays.